Hi, I'm MochaMattel and this is MochaMattelGames, and today I'm gonna give you college advice, okay? We're gonna get right into it. For the most part, everyone you meet is on their best behavior. Do not be fooled into rooming with the first nice person you meet. Y'all might like the same bands, and y'all might have the same political views, but at the end of the day, that does not make them a good roommate. I met a girl at orientation and we clicked, right? And we filled out the roommate compatibility form and we were both like, yeah, we're both relatively clean. And so we signed up to be each other's roommates, and we had a third roommate, and those two were the messiest people I've ever met. Now, were they really nice and did we get along? Yeah, absolutely. But if I had not jumped the gun, might I have been able to room with somebody more compatible? Yes. When back to school shopping, buy mostly basics. Why? Because everyone wants to bring their cutest clothing and their staple pieces, right? But I'm telling you from experience, not only will you probably physically outgrow your clothing, but you will also outgrow your current style, especially if you were sheltered at home, okay? That rhinestone bodysuit that you're wearing in your favorite picture of yourself, leave it home. Leave it home. Buy stable pieces as you go through college and your style starts to develop and change. Having mostly basics also helps you to look at least decent most of the time, instead of you having mostly stable pieces and then that one comfy hoodie, because you know what you're going to be wearing to class 90% of the time? That hoodie. And by December, you'll look back at your photos from September and cringe at that stupid fur jacket you were wearing to every event. Bring lots of cleaning supplies and bug spray, and I'm not talking repellent, I'm talking pesticide, because depending on what college you go to, trust me, there are gonna be bugs in your lounges, there's gonna be bugs in your hallways, there's gonna be bugs in your dorm room, okay? I'm laying on top of my bunk bed at 3 a.m. and I look up and I see something staring at me. Bro, it's a spider on my ceiling, it pays rent, right? And so naturally I get the bug spray and he starts swinging back and forth like Miley on the wrecking ball, right? And I spray him one more good time, he drops. When I tell you that bug spray came in clutch, I'm sorry to all the bug activists out there, but don't start activating in my comments, I swear. And because dorm rooms are nasty, before you even put your stuff down, open up that bottle of Lysol or get the Lysol wipes and wipe down your desk, wipe down your door handles, wipe down your mattress, wipe down everything, even the ladder rungs, clean everything, the shower walls if you can. Do not be afraid to use cleaning supplies. Also, when you go to the bathroom, bring baby wipes to wipe your. Try to avoid pre-made friend groups, and let me tell you why. Okay, the result of joining into an already formed friend group can obviously vary, but for the most part it will always end in heartbreak. Okay, you get to college, you meet someone, you meet a couple more people, you form a group, it falls apart like most first friend groups do, and now you're looking to move on and find new friends. I would recommend befriending another person without a close friend group rather than joining one, because you will notice things, okay? You will notice some people in the group are closer than others and naturally start to choose sides and whatever. There will be romantic, sexual tension that has been building up for weeks, and your induction into that friend group might shake the balance and make things awkward. Or you'll realize that you were never part of the friend group and just an extension of it. It took me 2 failed friend groups before I found a solid one that ended up falling apart because I didn't know this step. And I definitely didn't know. Don't date people in your friend group. Don't date, don't situate, don't sex educate. Why? It puts pressure on your other friends to either start dating or break off from the group entirely. And if that group has an uneven number of people, it is especially unfair to the remaining person when 2 of you are dating and the other 2 of you are flirting with each other constantly. Friend groups are made for friendship. friendship isn't the stepping stone for your romance fantasies. Because when you two break up, your friends will feel forced to pick a side, which will inevitably break up the group, and that's not fair to them. Or even worse, your friends watch as you get emotionally traumatized and manipulated by another member of the group and refuse to take your side in order to keep the peace. Now you have no friends and years of therapy to go to. Don't do it, okay? Now, this step completely depends on your budget and living situation, but if you can afford to go home every 2 to 4 weeks, do it. I'm not just talking your house home, I'm talking your city, your area. Go see your hometown friends if you have any. Go to your favorite stores. Take a nice shower in your house and sleep in your bed. Like, those community bathrooms and constant tests and projects can take a toll on your mental health without you realizing just how much. Blend your gen eds and your major classes. This one is a bit more of a complex step, but I'll simplify my explanation. Try taking 2 to 3 gen eds and 2 to 3 major courses each semester, because if you switch your major, you want to have a decent amount of gen eds complete, but not too many. If you take all of your gen eds within the first few semesters, you'll be left with only major courses. Which sounds good in theory, because that leaves room to switch your major as much as you want, right? But no one wants to take all major courses their junior and senior year. Like, imagine having legal terms at 10, entrepreneurship at 12, microeconomics at 3, macroeconomics. You'd lose your mind and sometimes your interest in that major. And if you transfer schools, most of the credits for your major classes might get voided anyways. So creating a good balance between your gen eds and your major courses are the key to making your college experience a little bit easier.
Hey yo, look like I'm going for a swim.
Learning bathroom etiquette. Now, I know this one sounds like common sense, but it isn't. In my campus, there are always tampons and pads in the toilets, people not flushing after taking a dump, hair in the shower drain, and random food and hair items left on the sink. For the love of God, please learn how to wrap your used pads in its wrapper or in tissue and then throw it in garbage. And learn how to wash your hands after you take a piss and how to spray Febreze. Learn regular etiquettes. Now, this one depends on how you were raised. Some people were raised well, but differently. Some people were raised in families that made personal space feel optional. And when you get to college, on behalf of most people, learn how to read the room. This is not something I was very good at, but I did try my best. Like, if you see someone you're acquainted with eating by themselves with their headphones in, do not sit next to or across from them and start a conversation. Like, imagine coming from a 3-hour lecture on whether or not a table is a table, shout out to the homie Renee, and then trying to unwind in the cafeteria and having the loud and overly chatty friend of a friend come over and sit with you the entire time. Learn the etiquettes of asking instead of assuming. Text someone ahead of time, asking if you can come over instead of just showing up at their door, and asking if they would rather sit alone. Don't take it personal if they say yes either. This works both ways though, so ask someone if they want to sit with you. If you notice they might be a little shy or hesitant, don't say things like, come if you want. Specifically invite people over. You should come over on Tuesday feels a lot more respectful than my door is always open, even if they mean the same thing to you. Be honest. This one is going to be the hardest one for a lot of you because it's the hardest one for a lot of us. So if you realize that a friend thinks that you two are a lot closer than you actually are, tell them. And if you don't like someone romantically or in the way that they like you, tell them. And if after you are honest with them, they still show feelings for you, leading them on and playing with their feelings because they let you is not justifiable. Be a decent person. And if you have tons of homework to do, but a friend invites you to a party, be honest with yourself. You cannot go. Learning to be outwardly but gently honest is one of the best skills you can possess for your sanity, your growth, and your character, especially when it comes to surviving college. Now, usually by this point in a college advice video, they tell you to stay away from boys and focus on yourself, but I'm here to tell you that you won't. You won't, no. And when you inevitably lose yourself to a world of sleepless nights and failed talking stages, I'm here to tell you, don't beat yourself up over a bad decision or two. I say 1 or 2 because 3, you're pushing it. But even the best of us forget that we're the best of us sometimes. Your first semester, you might have been co-captain of a dance team, the prettiest girl in class, and had a 3.5 GPA. And then the next semester, everything might have fallen apart because you skipped 1 too many classes or gotten involved with someone you knew who wasn't worth your time. Mistakes are one thing, but bad decisions are something that we tend to hold over our own heads. Don't internalize them. Learn from them and heal accordingly. Be yourself. And I'm not talking about in like a corny, generic way. I mean, don't be like Dylan O'Brien's character and not okay. Freshman year is not the time to create an entirely new persona, especially if it's offensive. If you don't have an accent, do not grow one overnight. If you don't walk like that, you don't talk like that, do not start. Instead, gradually and organically grow into being yourself. Don't pick your friends off of looks and popularity. Crazy I have to even say this, but not only is it incredibly shallow, but your friendships like that, they're never really real. Like the second you leave the room, they are willing to talk about you to the other people in the group. Your flaws are being watched over more than ever. And watch what happens the second that a really attractive person that they want is attracted to instead, especially when you look like me. Those, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, they're gone. They're out the door, out the window actually. And as a general rule, you shouldn't be attracted to your friends and vice versa. They might happen to be beautiful, but they shouldn't be required to be. To have well-kept friends is one thing. To have all 10 out of 10 Instagram models is another. Choose your associates wisely. If you're in a group of 4 assholes, I promise you're the 5th. This is a sentiment old as time, and yet people still don't get it. You are a direct reflection of the people that you hang out with. So even if you want to claim that you aren't close, if you often talk to or hang out with people known to be shitty to others, you are also shitty. Especially if they mistreat people that you actually call your friends. Like, don't talk to Johnny, the infamous campus pervert, just because he didn't do anything to you. He did something to somebody, and that is enough. If your friend tells you, hey, those girls you hang out with talk about me and they're really rude to me, and you're aware of this, choose sides. Choose your friend. Because I guarantee if that group of assholes talks about other people around you, they talk about you around other people. And I get that people like to preserve the peace by staying neutral, but preserving your character is much more important. This one, listen, judging people is okay to an extent. And I'm not talking about, ew, her hair's so ugly, why would she wear that dress? How did she even get a boyfriend looking like? No. I'm talking about assessing the way that people carry themselves and treat others as a way to determine their placement in your life. In regards to step 14, there is a chance that you're not intentionally a shitty person and that you stumbled into the wrong friend group and now you're looking for all the signs that you missed. Well, it might be because being associated with people is more than about compatibility popularity, looks, or whatever. There are 5 things you should judge people on before affiliating with them: their moral compass, their code of ethics, their ambition, their credentials, and their reputation. And in that order. Much of someone's reputation is speculated and subjective. I've met a handful of people with bad reputations that were actually good people, because sometimes reputations consist of lies and rumors from people that aren't so reparable themselves. On the other hand, someone's reputation might be well deserved, and it's up to you to make that judgment. Now, this one not everyone can afford to do, because people have like jobs that don't have flexible schedules or whatever, but if you can, you should. If you have to pick between a 1 p.m. course with a professor who's known to be a harsh grader and a 9 a.m. course with a professor you've had before and really liked, pick that option. No one talks about how much smoother a good professor can make your college experience. I took 3 3-hour classes with this one professor that I really liked. And guess what time they were at? 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the first class I took with him, I didn't have a choice. The next 2 were absolutely my choice. And he gave me an A in all 3 of the classes. And I learned so much from him. And sometimes he would let us out early because he knew that nobody wanted to be there until 10. And if he could teach us everything he needed to teach us in 1 hour, he didn't have to keep us there for 3. I feel like kind, empathetic professors that are always willing to help are easily the difference between you loving or hating your entire college experience. Your first semester is picked for you by your college advisors, but when you get the chance to make your own schedule, it might be tempting to take all of your classes in the same 2 days so that you have the rest of the week free, but no, I would not recommend that. It would be too stressful for you to have all your homework due on the same day and have all your midterms and finals on the same days as well. I would also try to avoid taking 1 class a day, not leaving any room for any downtime. I would try to have 1 to 2 days max completely blocked off. Like, try taking a couple of 3-hour classes that are 1 day a week instead of 1-hour classes that are 2 days a week. I took 6 classes a semester my sophomore, junior, and senior year because I slacked off my freshman year and then transferred and inevitably lost half of my credits. I still found a way to have a day off by taking mostly 3-hour classes. Dress up for class. You are not hurting anybody by attending your 9 a.m.s and your best fit. You will feel great the entire day if you dress up for your first class. Don't listen to people that might judge you or anything like that. There's always going to be that, why is she doing all that for, intro to philosophy? She just likes attention. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Wear a beat face, wear a nice dress, or even some dress pants and some light cologne. You paid for that class, so show up for it. Show up for it. You don't have to go to every campus function. It's okay to say no. You don't have to go to every one of your crush's basketball games. He lost and he missed an open layup. You'll be fine if you don't see that. Trust me, you do not have to go to that party. You do not have to sign up for every pageant or burlesque show. There will be more. Even if you have nothing to do that day, your homework's all done, you studied, you don't have to go to the bar across the street because everybody's going. It's okay to take a day off for yourself and just sit in the crib. It's okay to want to drop out. It's true what they say about college not being for everybody. I had a friend drop out of college only 2 months into it because he knew it wasn't for him. And as his friend, I was skeptical, but still supportive. And he ended up getting a job to pay his parents back for the tuition and went on to do exactly what he said he would, which is be successful without college. There are going to be times where you genuinely want to quit, take a year off, or even never come back, and that's okay. I used to seriously contemplate dropping out of college every week or so. And to this day, I still worry if I made the right choice or not. But I'm not saying it's impossible to pursue both college and your dreams, but doing two things at once often means you'll do them half as good than if you would have just focused on one at a time. That's all the advice I have today. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. I post Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and I usually post gaming videos, but sometimes I'm thinking about posting advice videos. So yeah, comment down below, and that's it. I love you. I got an itch so bad.